Welcome to Slightly Unhinged with Justin Pavis. Today I'm sitting down with Jessica from CMG Home Loans to talk about the truth of home loans, how we met, and whatever else the slightly unhinged conversation takes us. Let's get into it. But before we do that, we have to have some wine.
Obviously.
So I'm going to open some great wine brought to you by Bouchon. Thank you, Bouchon. And we're going to talk. So while I do this, I should have had you do this because I'm really bad at putting wine on the spot. We should add this pre-corked. We'll know that next time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, while I open wine and pour us, let's talk about how we met.
All right. So first, we had a lot of people in common, but we had no idea.
I know.
So Christine is who introduced us, right?
Yeah, Christine was, yeah.
So we're going to give Christine all the credit for
all
it.
the credit.
And we had a fantastic time. We had coffee. And then all of a sudden, you were like, if you like wine, you need to meet my friend who owns a wine shop in Portland.
Yeah.
And you explained where it was. And I was like, wait, is that Mandy's wine shop?
Bouchon.
Bouchon. And I know Mandy because her mom is dating my father-in-law. So that's how small of a world Portland is.
That is crazy.
She's basically my sister-in-law.
She is your sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because Mom and Ken are going to eventually.
I mean,
they're
not going to watch this podcast. So
they're not going to watch this podcast. So
we can talk about it.
We can talk about it. Okay. Mom and Ken are going to be together forever.
Exactly. So thank you, Mandy.
Thank you, Mandy. And thank you, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was so crazy because we were in mutual networking groups.
Yes.
And then Christine was like, you have to meet Jessica. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And so then just kind of piecing it all together, I was like, it is such a small world in Portland that we know everyone. And it kind of ties into really the industry and how small the industry really is and how much everybody knows everybody. And so your reputation really does matter in the industry.
Yes. And shout out to Christine.
Yeah.
Who is amazing. And there's so many financial advisors out there that people can work with. And so when you find someone that you just have the same simpatico, like level of service, level of understanding, you keep those people really close to you.
No, she's great. She's been one of our favorites, and I appreciate her so much. So obviously coming onto a podcast, hanging out, we're in this weird space, and I think mortgages sometimes get kind of a bad rap. And so like, what's your take right now? Like what's going on in your industry?
Right now, it's hard. Because as much as people want to buy a home, affordability, which is like the word of 2026, it is really difficult to find. So you have sellers who want to sell for the highest bid, and you have buyers that want to buy for the lowest price. And everybody wants their interest rate to be lower. And as a mortgage lender, I have to figure out what all of those numbers are that will make someone work. Somebody actually told me this week that the house that they found was empty, bank account pretty.
Interesting.
Right? That was something that I had never heard before, but that's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
They want that HGTV dream, but they want it at the current rent that they're paying, which is just not realistic. So I'm charged with how do I make that realistic?
Right.
Absolutely. It's not always achievable.
No. And I think that I see it a lot in our industry and even with my clients that, that are wanting to buy investments or do more things, though, is the interest rates really do drive if someone the affordability to be able to do more stuff in the investing world. Yeah. And, especially when it comes to ROI, and if they're going to be getting the return on investment through even rents, or are they going to be eating some of that? So it's definitely been something that's on your mind, on everybody's mind for that. Are you seeing a ton of first-time buyers right now?
So I'm seeing more than what I thought I would, which is really great. I actually think the market is mostly first-time home buyers and then investors.
Yeah.
Like, it's the people that are like, I got to do this because if I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
Right.
And it's the investors who are taking advantage of like what they can get and the leverage that they can have.
Right.
Knowing that at some point they'll refi, they'll figure out how to lower their interest rate. people that are sitting on the sidelines right now are the families, the ones that bought a house when it was a 3-bedroom and that was enough, and now they need a 4-bedroom.
Right.
Or everybody was working in an office and now everybody works remotely and they don't have an office.
Right.
Like, those are the people that I need to find and help get them into a better spot.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. And I see that in our industry a lot. I mean, even personally, like, one of the biggest things is a lot of people bought in 2020. So when interest rates were a crazy low, I mean, we purchased a family farm in 2020 and our interest rate was in the low 2s. Like,
which is crazy.
Which is crazy. But then also, you know, it's crazy that we sold too, because it's like, oh my gosh, now we're looking at, you know, 5.5, 6, 6.5, you know, different percentages than we were back in 2020, which was absolutely mind blowing to think that in 2020 the rates were where they were, and our mortgage payment was like $1,650 a month for a farm and land and all these things. So,
but here's my question: did you have to bid against other people?
No.
You didn't. Okay. Because that's where a lot of people had to bid up so much that, let's say now 5 years, 6 years down the road, normally you would sell, but they had to bid up 20% and the market hasn't caught up with that.
True.
So now they're selling for what they bought it for.
True.
And that's where I think a lot of people that should move up don't have the equity that they thought they were going to.
I think that we were just crazy and insane and decided buying a farm during COVID was the option, and no one else was buying a farm during COVID.
I mean, besides just not wanting to live on a farm, why? I can't remember why you guys sold.
So we sold because we were buying our asset family property in San Diego.
That's right.
So, you know, it was one of those things where like I still to this day, I'm like, man, we just gave up 2 point whatever it was and a $1,650 mortgage payment. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, we're able to do more of our family stuff and our ties with San Diego, and my husband's ties with San Diego and his family and all that great stuff. But, you know, going back to like 2020 and buying in 2020, the experience then, I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
It's wild.
In my generation, and I don't think we'll ever see that. And even future generations, I doubt we'll ever see that.
Yeah, totally.
But it was crazy. It was like a 15-day close. I think everybody was remote. Like we were working with like everybody they kept calling it the cloud. And I'm like, okay, we're in the cloud. All right, cloud's ready to sign. And we're like, okay. And they're like, here's your new house. And we're like, okay, we're going to meet the realtor. And the realtor's like, nowhere to be found because we're in the middle of COVID. Nope, the keys are under the doormat. And so we're like, okay. And so we went into it. It was weird times. Yeah. And I, you know, it's one of those things that's like, I think back and I'm like, man, I miss living on the farm and all of that. But at the same time, I'm really excited about kind of the next chapter. Yeah. And kind of seeing, but also honestly kicking our asses back into reality, because that wasn't reality.
That's the thing. And that's people bought for, especially like remote workers. They were like, I'm going to move to Bend. I'm going to move to the coast. Yeah. And all of a sudden you had, you know, in 2025, everybody had to go back to offices. So many people were pressured to be in the office at least half time. Yeah. And so all of a sudden you had people selling that had to sell because they couldn't commute. It was a 2-hour commute each way. Right. Some people had to fly.
Yeah. No, I remember it was, I was working for another company and before we had started Blake and Alder. And I just remember where I was sitting, and we were on the couch in our rental in Tigard, and Dan and I were sitting there with our dogs. And I remember the governor going on the TV. It was like the world was ending. And she's like, you're not allowed to leave your house. Like you have to have
your sofa.
Sit on your sofa. You have to have a permit to go out. And I just remember being so like nervous, like going to the store, like, oh my God, am I going to get caught? Am I going to get arrested? Like, what are we doing? And then Costco. Okay. I'm totally going off subject here. Can we talk about Costco for a second?
Let's talk about it.
Did you ever go to Costco during COVID?
No, I actually hate going to Costco.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
true story. My husband goes for me.
Okay. Well, COVID Costco was the most insane thing I've ever. Yeah. So they made you line up outside and made you
like a rations line.
A rations line. They would only let like 20 people at a time. And I'm sorry. But at Costco, I have to go through every aisle. So, and this was my out time. This was my time to be out in the world. So I took my sweet ass time, but I felt bad for grandma in the very back of the line waiting for my ass to finish so I could clock out so she could clock in. But
she didn't have anywhere to go.
She was probably excited just to stand outside too.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I just remember sitting there, and then it was like, okay, so we can't go anywhere. We can't do this. We can't do that. And then work was like, well, how do we work? And I was in property management.
Was it essential?
I don't know if property management is essential, but we
were considered essential. So our office only closed for like 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And then we reopened.
Yeah,
but then we had like a who was going in and how far apart had you been, and you had to take the temperature. And then it became a very social, like social hierarchy. I don't know, where it was like, oh, well, I saw you went to a concert this weekend.
Like, oh my God. The amount of times I got in trouble because of social media. Like I literally was like, my grandma would call me like, I saw you were out. And she goes, oh my gosh. And it's like, I get it. COVID was a weird freaking time, but no, I remember pulling my coffee table and throwing it against the wall. And like, I went to my office and they were like, grab whatever you need.
Yes.
You're going to work from home. And I was like, okay, I've never worked from, like, how does this work? Does like my phone work here? Like what happened? Like, what do I do?
How do I
call people? Like, what am I supposed to do? But then it rolled into, everybody, because the world was shutting down. People were like, well, how am I going to pay rent?
Yeah.
And then it was our clients going, wait, I'm not getting rent. How am I going to make my mortgage?
How do I pay my mortgage?
And then all of these things. And it just kind of snowballed so fast.
I can't imagine.
And it was like insane. And one of our clients at the time, when all said and done, it was like $500,000 in rent that he just never got because it just was such a crazy time. But in the midst of the crazy time, my ass decided I needed to buy a farm. So I was like, well, let's move to the farm. If we're going to be locked up somewhere, let me be on some land, not in Tigard.
I know.
I mean, other than I did have a birthday party, I'm totally telling myself. I was so afraid that the governor was going to come arrest me. Like, I literally was sitting.
But if the governor shows up to a party, like,
that's
is
true.
she in trouble
I mean,
too?
if Kate Brown would have showed up at the time to that, I doubt that.
Yeah.
But
no, she's not fun. Tina might show up.
She's not showing up. She would have been like, she would have been a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Definitely. Nothing against our past governors.
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful. We did. We had a birthday party. I'll never forget. We invited like anybody that wanted to come. We were like, we're having a party.
Yeah, it was like underground parties.
It was like underground parties, but it was also kind of fun because it was like you were living on the edge a little and you're like, yeah, I'm living on the edge. I'm having a party. Yes. Not wearing a mask.
Yes.
Woo! You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was crazy times. How we got on COVID, I have no idea. But interest rates during COVID were fantastic.
Well, that was probably the craziest thing that I've ever lived through. When you're going through a pandemic.
Yeah.
You've never done that before. No. You have no idea what's happening.
No.
I was also going through a divorce.
Yeah.
So I went from being married and renovating my dream home to moving out and moving into a crappy apartment, which I thought in February of 2020, I was like, I'm never going to be here. I'm going to be out all the time. I'm going to be traveling.
March 28th.
And then they were like, don't you leave that crappy apartment that you rented that doesn't even have a parking spot for you. Don't leave it. It was horrible. And then your phone starts ringing and everybody wants to refinance and but everybody can't. People that are in forbearance, investment properties that haven't had the mortgage paid in 90 days. It was just mania. And I don't feel like, as an industry, we did enough due diligence, because I feel like we refinanced a lot of people that really should have been buying a house instead. Yeah. And now they're stuck. Yeah. Right? Like now they have this amazing $2,000 mortgage, which in Portland is essentially putting 80% down maybe on a house. And they can't go anywhere because they're transfixed. Right.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, if we would have known, and I think that's the thing,
Yeah.
it's like no one knew.
No
Like,
one
we
knew.
didn't know. We thought this was going to be over in a couple days.
Yes.
Like, we're like, this is a
Yes.
quick little trend. We're moving on. It's going to be done. And
And then it was
lasted,
like 3 weeks.
yeah, it was like 3
months.
weeks, 6 months, all these things. But
5 years.
I mean, I wish I would have known more now, even now,
Mm-hmm.
what I knew then, because we bought the farm and all that, but that would have been the time also for me to be educating my clients and going, buy an investment, go buy an investment property right now. With these interest rates, go.
Yeah.
And we all were so worried about our own finances that we're like, oh my gosh, let's refi. This is great.
Yes.
But it kind of, like you said, it hosed everybody, I feel like, in the end a little bit, in the sense of, now what?
Yes.
Because we have these people that are locked in and they don't want to do anything. I mean, I have clients that are the same way, that they want to expand their portfolio, but they're like, I can't afford it now because I refinanced my investment back in 2020 and I don't have the capital, all these things. So it's definitely interesting.
But that's what I love about mortgage. And it's one of the reasons that I got into mortgage was that I had bought and sold 3 properties before I ever worked in mortgage.
Yeah.
And I never met my mortgage lender. He didn't know who I was. It was always a man. It was always someone that was like, just, I'll talk to your husband. I'll figure this out. Like, no, educate me. Educate me on what we're doing. Tell me what's going on.
Right.
Why are we putting this amount down?
Right.
And the more education I got, the more I realized that people in mortgage lending, like, I love my industry people, but also I don't love my industry people.
Same.
Because they don't explain things.
Right.
And they don't take the time to say, well, actually, putting 5% down more doesn't really help you.
Right.
But putting 10% down does.
Right.
There's so many things that if we as an industry were held to the same standard as a financial planner, it would look a lot different. So I just try to hold myself to a higher standard and let people ask the questions that sound dumb, because even your investors, they feel like it's a dumb question. Like, maybe they own 5 properties and they're like, well, it's silly. I should just know this. No, you shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't.
No. That's not your job to know that. That's why.
That's my job.
That's why we have you. Because I literally, I get the calls all the time, and we're going, current state of the world, just in sense, people are, a lot of my folks in this day are having to refinance this year. A lot of my commercial properties are for refi this year.
Yeah.
Hello,
they
year
did
5.
5-year arms.
5-year arms. And here we are at the 2 point whatever. And now we're spiking to 7% for commercial. And it's just like,
oh my gosh.
My God. And it's like, why did you do that? But
because they saved 0.25%.
Yeah.
So I actually talked to somebody, it's a friend of a friend, and she called me in tears because her adjustable is going up, and they didn't think they would be in this house, and they didn't think that they would, be in this mortgage. But here they are 5 years later, and they're going up to like 6.75, which is market rate. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But she has no access to all the equity that they've gained. And so we were talking through, like, well, do we put a home equity line on it? Do we do a refinance and pull out the money so you can buy that second home and then lock in that rate at 30%?
Yeah.
Or it's for 30 years? Not 30%, dear God.
I hope not. 30%.
That's our parent. That's our parents' mortgage.
No, sorry. 1943.
Exactly. But she did that 5-year arm to save 0.25% over the 30-year fix that she could have gotten into. But who were we to know?
We didn't know.
No one knew.
We all thought that maybe this was the new norm.
Yeah.
That this is where interest rates are. This is great.
Exactly.
And now we're in a completely different climate. And I don't know what the climate's going to hold now. I mean,
spoiler alert, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And so would you, I mean, I have a lot of clients and investors, even first time buyers, and I know we've touched a little bit on, is now the time to buy? Why now?
Because the houses will never be less expensive.
Yeah.
Even though the past couple of years, we've only gained a couple percentage points in equity since 2020. I bought a townhouse.
Yeah.
I'm fine with disclosing, it's all public information. I bought a house for $350. And I knew, at the time, I was like, this boyfriend, if it works out. And it did.
And it did.
It did.
Yeah.
But this will be an investment property. And it's gained $85,000 in equity.
Right.
since then. It's probably not going to gain much more, to be
Right.
totally honest.
Right.
But that was a huge equity gain that now, if people are buying, now they're fighting up against that $80,000 increase on a townhome, plus HOAs went up, and now interest rates are higher. So the only thing I would say to someone is like, well, what are you waiting for?
Right.
Like, if we know that interest rates are never going to be 2 point something again, and if prices are never going to be lower, why are you still waiting?
Right. Absolutely. No, I agree. I'm in the same boat as well. Like, even with us doing our like San Diego purchase and stuff, it's like how much it kills me, the interest rate and the payment. Like, it's scary and disgusting how much the mortgage payment is now.
But it's San Diego. It's going to go up in
But
price.
also is San Diego.
Yeah.
Like, San Diego's going to, but the way that I also justify it too, and our families justify it as well, is we're going into with instant equity.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the value hasn't changed, and we have only gone up every single year. And here we are now in 2026, and we're going into this with at least a couple $100,000 in instant equity.
Yes.
So it gives a little bit of peace of mind knowing that, okay, if shit hit the fan and we had to sell, we're not taking a loss here. We're going to at least get our money back. We're going to have some equity, and we're going to move forward.
And what I'm seeing as a big trend in purchases right now is that the appraisals are coming in above market value.
Oh, 100%.
Because the prices are really being oppressed because of interest rates. The value is still there.
Right.
Like, Portland only has so many houses it can build.
Right.
We're 8 years behind in housing inventory. And
don't even get me started on housing.
You know this. Exactly.
Don't even get me started on housing.
And that's just an average. I'm going to need a little more.
We're going to get some more wine for that conversation.
But if if we're so behind in this, there's no reason that you couldn't get into a home, be in it for a year, refinance when rates are lower. I'm already doing that for people that bought last year.
Right.
And they're saving 0.75 of a percentage point.
Right.
So you just have to find the right place for you. And I think that people are realizing it's not a short-term game. I feel like our generation kind of thought it was a short-term game because we've only seen, since 2008, we've seen a huge bubble burst. And then at 2014, it's just gone up and up and up and up and up. Well, it will continue to do that, but there's not going to be a bubble that bursts.
Right.
Like, there are still human beings that need homes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know that more than anybody.
Yeah.
So the more homes we can build and the more units we can build, I mean, if we're 8 years behind, then I don't know how we're ever going to make that up. Value will always be there.
No, and I think one of my favorite things that someone ever told me, and maybe you even told me this, is you're married to your house, but you're not married to the rate.
Yeah.
And getting the mindset around that, I know has been a lot of a game changer for some of my clients too, that are in refi right now. They're like, we should just dump it. We should sell it. We should whatever. But I'm like, no, this is a great property. You're not married to the rate. Refi again.
Yes.
Like, as interest rates change and ever flux, you can refi. You're not married to it. Like,
and
stick with what you're doing.
Well, and someone told me a really great analogy. Shout out to Patty Jensen. I love her. She's fantastic.
Shout out, Patty.
She said, I was talking to a client, and she said, here's what I said. You need a new sweatshirt. And you need a new Gap sweatshirt, and you just love the Gap. And the sweatshirt that you bought is $25. Well, now it's $60. But you still need a new sweatshirt.
Right.
Your old one still has holes in it. It doesn't work for you anymore. You can't wear it to work. You can't wear it out. But you don't want to buy the $60 sweatshirt. What are you going to do? You're going to spend $100 to take it to somebody and patch it up.
Right.
You're going to, maybe figure out a different way that you can go buy another sweatshirt, but really you need 2 of them. Like, the thing is that even though the prices are higher, people still need it. And if you can look at it from a less emotional spot, which is hard for people, real estate is super high emotions.
Property management too.
But I think that's what more people need to hear.
Yeah. No, I agree. My answer to the sweatshirt is I found this great website during
exactly.
during COVID.
It's called Amazon.
Amazon or what was it? Shein. I think that was like banned in the US now.
I never did Shein.
Oh wow, girl.
No. No.
Danny would get so mad at me because he would come home and there'd be boxes on the front porch.
Everywhere.
Just boxes.
Everywhere.
And he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, look at all the clothes I got for $150. And it was boxes and boxes.
And they would fall apart in the washer. Literally.
I literally could wear them one time.
Yeah, disposable.
And then
clothing.
it was like, he was like, so how's your Shein doing?
As he wears his Rag and Bone t-shirt
Right.
that he bought for $68
Right.
pre-COVID.
And he's probably wearing something that he still has from high school that's
Yes.
lasted his whole life.
Yes.
And I'm over here like, oh, I got on
Exactly.
Shein. Yeah,
Yes.
you like my new jacket? Yeah, I got this for the sweatshirts. I was obsessed with sweatshirts from there because they were like $4.99 and you could get so many. And I was like, all this. And so I get all my sweatshirts and they come and it was literally like you wash them once and it was like
half shirt.
tube top, or I had one like it like
Literally unraveled.
like
Yes.
disintegrating in the soap, and I was like,
I feel like this is an analogy for like new construction that's poorly built.
literally, I'm just like, what?
I don't know any of those builders, but they're out there.
Oh God, there are.
There are.
Yeah, we won't name any names on that one.
Yes.
No, it's so yeah. So I got into the Shein thing, and I was like, again, COVID, sitting at home. I feel like all I did was online shop because it was
Target.
Like, what else do you do?
Target. Okay. Do you know? Okay, let's take this.
Yeah.
Take this
Okay.
somewhere. There is a website called lastbottle.com. Okay.
Lastbottle.com. All
Yes.
right. Okay.
So basically, they send out one wine a day that you can purchase.
Oh, that's like my case drop.
Yes, it's like case drop.
Case drop. Yeah.
So, but you could buy as many as you want to.
Okay.
So I'm sitting at home and I'm like, these poor restaurants, we should really help them out. Like, obviously, this inventory they're just sitting on, no one's ever going to go to a restaurant again. So I'm buying like cases of wine.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, once again, picture me alone in an apartment, just like
buying cases of wine.
Cases of wine.
Because you were ready to have a party.
I know. Well, I mean, I finally worked through it, but but I did. I think a case of wine showed up one day, and I was like, okay, it's got to stop. I can't even have people over.
Right. I feel like I wasn't a case of wines for me. Danny and I got really into like just Amazon and but then also
but anything
Amazon,
you needed, it was just right there.
it was right there. But also at one point, like Amazon wasn't delivering though for a hot second. I feel like there was a moment.
Probably.
There was a moment where I was like, oh my God, I can't get same day delivery.
How dare they?
How dare they tell me it's coming tomorrow morning?
I know.
You know.
And now like a drone drops it off like 30 minutes later.
Right.
They like anticipated your need.
It was just the other day I ordered something and my office staff was like, I just told you I need this from you like an hour ago. And I was like, I know. I love Amazon. It just shows up.
It
It's
asked if
magic.
I wanted delivery between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m.
Right.
So I said yes.
It's so funny.
Obviously.
Danny gets so pissed off when I do totally off subject, but gets so pissed off when I do the 4 a.m. delivery because the dogs go
Yes.
crazy at 4 a.m. And I'm like, oops.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
oh, that was just Amazon. And he's like, why the fuck did you put Amazon?
I just realized that's why our dog went crazy this morning and woke Kyle up. This is real time.
Like
I need to apologize.
sometimes I'm just like, it's like I want it here, but then it's like also like, why couldn't I have just
Why
chose
couldn't-
from 10 to 3? Why did I need to choose 4 to 8?
Because I'm up at 6 and maybe I wanted it with my coffee.
Right. But no, I literally like the things I choose sometimes in life, I sometimes question later and go, huh,
Okay, what is it? You get like give me one though.
right there. Amazon. Why did I choose 4 to 8 instead of 10 to 3? I mean, I didn't need whatever it was at 4 a.m.
Mhm.
Like I would have
No,
been okay.
I wasn't
But
gonna
it's
be
also,
awake.
but also too, it's the same thing with my wine. Same thing.
So yeah, because you buy a case.
I buy a case.
I buy 3 bottles of everything.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. That makes no sense to me.
No.
Like I should be buying 6. So I've started branching out and it's like you can just have 2 bottles. And it's like telling my brain that I can't have anything else to eat. Like it's
Right.
so weird to me. I'm like,
Oh, it's the same thing. And
2?
it's like I buy a case of wine and then Danny's like,
we didn't need a case.
who are you drinking that with? And I'm like, well, you are. And he's like, I don't like red wine. And I'm like, oh,
We'll work on it.
We'll
Danny,
work on
we'll
it.
work on it.
No, he likes, it has to be a good red wine, but still, it's like he's
Mhm.
like, "Why did you buy all that?" I'm like, "You're right. Why did I buy all that?" But then I'm also like, I'm supporting the wine shop and
Yeah,
like
we're
all these
supporting
things,
Mandy.
and and eventually we'll work through it. Just like my 4 cases of this wine I had to
And
buy.
it's a really fun game where you have all this wine stored somewhere
Yeah.
and you're convinced that it's gone.
Oh, 100%.
And then you go to your wine storage. And of course, wine
Yeah.
storage requires opening up a bottle and then
course.
going through your wine. And you're like,
course.
oh my God, I didn't know I had that.
I just bought a new
Yay.
shelf for my house. It holds 120 bottles.
Wait, but it's not temperature controlled?
No.
Yeah, we
I
gotta
know,
work. I know. We gotta fix this.
We gotta
for you.
find. We've already
We have a
talked-
long-term plan.
We have a long-term plan with that. But no, I bought this new bamboo stackable shelf thing. It holds 120 bottles.
Okay.
And so I had
You filled that in like a week.
I filled it in less than an hour. I had so many so many cases of wine just in boxes. And then I forgot what I had.
Yeah, of course you did.
And I was like, oh, I remember you.
game.
It was like Christmas in my house this weekend. So
Exactly.
yeah, no, I definitely fall in the habits where I will definitely buy wine, but it also too, like, I think there's worse things in the world to be doing. I mean, buying wine isn't, I'm also storing, but I'm also buying
Not
stuff.
starting a war.
It's not, that's true. It's not starting a war. That is very true. But I'm also buying wine that I know I can lay. Like,
That's the
I'm
thing.
not buying wine that I need to drink today.
Yes.
I'm buying wine that if I saw this, a friend of mine did this that, actually, I think it was Mandy that was telling me this. She lays a bottle every year for her son.
Yeah.
And so when he turns 21, he'll have 21 years of laying on bottles.
Which is amazing.
So
but then he's going to have to drink all this like right away.
He better invite me over. Simon, you better invite me over.
That's actually going to be an amazing 21st birthday party.
Because I want to open whatever was on your birthday.
Yes.
And so 20 years from now, that'd be less than that.
Yeah.
Like 18 years from now, I want to be there and drinking whatever was your first birthday bottle of wine. So Mandy, I better be on that list. Anyways, tangents.
Tangents.
All right, how are we doing on time? 7 minutes? 6 minutes? All right, cool.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, we already kind of did that. Okay, we've talked about a lot about wine.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in. So, tell me, mortgage industry, property management industry, we get some kind of crazy shit that happens. What's like some crazy story you have in the mortgage world?
Okay, what can I disclose, right?
Well, yeah, right. Same.
I would say the craziest stories always happen because some other lender has messed up. Like there was one day where I had a contingent buyer. So we were on the contingent train. The contingent train being, they're selling their house and somebody else has to sell their house in order to buy someone's house, and then they have to buy. So we're like at least 3 train cars in, and we're the middle car. So the caboose, which is what we kept calling it, the caboose car, never should have been pre-approved. Oh. Never should have been able to put in an offer. Yeah. And my clients, my buyers, their sellers called me in tears because this loan was going to fall apart. And I was like, let me just call the mortgage lender. Like maybe there's something we can do. Maybe there's something we can figure out. I'm happy just to collaborate. Oh no, that guy had no idea what he was doing. Oh. And never should have pre-approved these people. Self-employed income, husband and wife owned it, and he used the same income for both of them. So he doubled the income. It was like, well, that's just math, man. You can't do that. Like they usually you gotta split them. Yeah, you gotta split them. You can't double it for people. So they had to go back out onto the market. They had to reduce their price. We had to increase the time. Like we had to, all these things. Like we're doing a HELOC and getting gift funds and just like the amount of reworking something is crazy in mortgage when you have that, which explains why so many real estate agents are like, call me when you don't have to sell a house anymore, because the mortgage industry just isn't very well vetted or trusted. But also the mortgage industry knows how to have a party.
I agree.
Yeah. Have you been to one of those?
I have been to a few mortgage hosted
Happy
parties,
hours.
happy hours.
Turns into an all-nighter. Yeah.
I feel like property management in the sense, like it's the same thing. We're like adult babysitters.
Yes.
And
yes.
so like my job is to basically be your babysitter. And so at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm ready to let loose a little, and I'm going to these functions because
I need to let loose.
I need to let loose. I mean, and you know, it's interesting. I mean, obviously mortgage and property management, real estate, we're all intertwined in this sphere, and we all have our own little delegations to the sphere. But it's interesting how similar though a transaction can go in the sense of the emotions that we have to go through to close a transaction.
And what I find interesting being in this industry, I get it. It's emotional. It's where you're going to bring your babies home.
Yeah.
It's where you're going to have your dog. It's where your mom and dad are going to stay. It is high emotion, but the numbers in the transaction, those aren't emotionally driven. Like those are very black and white numbers.
Yeah.
So I feel like I try to be the voice of reason in transactions, but also I'm crazy and I get really fired up. I didn't sleep last night because someone posted a post in a local Facebook group about how mortgage rates are going to be horrible and like oil's going up and mortgages are going to be terrible and we're approaching, this crazy outsized amount of demand. And I didn't sleep all last night. Mortgage rates, well, they were fine today.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. We just all have to keep a level head and know that even if everything goes out the window and we have to start over tomorrow, people still need loans. They still need homes. They still need property managers. And so for me, I try to keep a level head, but I have seen some stuff and I've heard some stuff working in mortgage, you hear things that you're like, you shouldn't say that to people. And you definitely shouldn't talk like that to clients.
No, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of transactions. I'll get hired to advise.
I was going to say, you're early on.
I'm early on. So someone's like, hey, I am looking for management services. I'm buying an investment property. I get brought in the beginning stages because I'm starting to help kind of determine what market rate's going to be for certain areas and locations.
You're saying Zillow isn't a good advisor.
Is not.
Okay.
Let me tell you right now, Zillow is not where you get your comps for real estate transactions, rental properties, or how much your mortgage payment's going to be.
Also, don't use their lending. Okay.
And don't use their lending.
But otherwise, you could look at pretty houses.
But thank you so much for letting me post my for rents on your website.
Exactly. Don't ever click on apply for a mortgage.
Right?
Yes.
All the disclosures we're giving you.
Yeah.
But no, so I get brought in the beginning, and it's so interesting because I am we've hung out enough. We've been in the same sphere and circle that you know my vibe. I'm very easygoing. I'm like, hey, let's, as long as it works for everyone, let's do it. But I have been in some insane transactions where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this.
Yes.
I'm just sitting over here and I'm like the person who doesn't have a signed contract because I can't have a signed contract until you buy the property. But I'm just sitting over here going, oh my God, the tea. Did she just say that in an email?
Yes.
I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, and then I'm calling the agent and I'm like, so
let's talk
about this for a second, because I don't. Same thing with mortgage and real estate. You don't make your money until the deal's done.
No.
So you definitely have to put in the work and all that stuff. But sometimes I'm just like, do we have a rogue agent here? Do we have a rogue?
There are a lot of rogue agents.
I'm just like, what is going on?
That's the one thing that I've learned. And I know that 10 years it's both a long time and not a long time to get to know people. But there are agents that are in our city that make me pit out. I see their name on my phone. It's like, oh no. Oh, no. Like, are you going to send me someone? Because I really don't want to work with you. And it's not because they're a bad person. It's just because we couldn't work differently.
Yeah.
Like, I try to be here.
Yeah.
I really do. Because if your mortgage person is out of control and your real estate person is out of control, like, who's helping you make sure that this is a good decision?
Right.
It has to be me.
Right.
So I've realized over this time that I need to work with people that are just more chill.
Right.
Because their clients are more chill and it's just a more chill transaction. Like, it really is who you surround yourself with. And it's very validating to hear that, honestly.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I had an attorney tell me this phrase a couple weeks ago that said, anytime she's representing her client and the opposing counsel comes to the table and the attorney pops in her inbox, she already knows immediately who she's getting into bed with.
Yes.
And it's like, sometimes it's like, oh, I know this guy, he's gonna be great. I know the vibe of their client, because who you personally are as a person, and the person that you pick to represent you kind of tells a story.
It does.
And so if that attorney or real estate agent or whoever it is one that's kind of like, oh, but then you see the client, it's gonna match.
Yes.
And you're like, oh,
yes.
I don't think that's a transaction I want to get a part of.
That is not the energy I'm wanting to match today, as the kids say.
Right. That was not on my bingo card this year, and we're not doing that.
That's what it is.
No, we're not doing that.
Yes.
So anyways, but yes, I agree. Things can get a little unhinged in a transaction.
They can.
So my final question of the night,
okay,
as we wrap, and thank you so much for being on my podcast. This has been so fun. It's been a dream of mine to have a podcast and be able to share crazy stories in the industry, personal life, all the things. When is a time in your life you've been slightly unhinged?
I mean, it's always...
I mean, you did talk about your cases of wine while being single in your apartment.
Yeah.
But...
So, obviously that. Okay. You haven't been to Walla Walla to taste, right?
I've been to Walla Walla.
You've been to Walla Walla.
Danny hasn't been to Walla Walla.
Okay. I have been unhinged in Walla Walla. It is
Bless
so...
you.
Like... There is just something there. It's like the Midwest girl in me and the wine girl in me, like, gets to Walla Walla and just like everything just starts speaking my language. And it sounds like we need another glass of wine. It sounds like we need to buy another case of wine. And it sounds like we need to be dancing with Santa in the holiday parade.
Santa in the holiday parade.
And sending your friends Snapchats that genuinely got texts that were like, "Are you okay? Where is your husband? Should I text him?" But I know it sounds silly. And I know it's like the whole wine, culture of like, mama needs another glass of wine. No, like, I love good wine. And when I get into the groove of like having a great tasting after great tasting and being around people I love, and Walla Walla is actually filled with people I adore. Like, you make friends when you go there.
Walla's great.
Yeah. Can we get like Visit Walla Walla like onto this or something?
You heard it. Visit Walla Walla.
It's just the best place, and it has like a little piece of my heart there.
Yeah.
So I have definitely danced in like, I don't know, in a vineyard, and I've definitely danced down Main Street, and one of my friends tried to break into a Pizza Hut. So
oh my God.
And the same guy showed up to dinner in underwear. I
mean, once you get going, though, sometimes,
you might get overserved out in Eastern Washington and also have the best wine of your life. So
that's me in San Diego. Like, San Diego, anytime we go, it's like, Danny and I are like, okay, let's go out. And I mean, the scene there is just so different than Portland. So it's like, you get to just like be, I mean, the queer community, not that Portland doesn't have a great queer community. I mean, we have a fabulous queer community, but then you go to other areas and you kind of jump into their community for a second. And you're like, oh, I'm living my life. And I'm like, yes.
I have a rule.
Okay.
And the rule is I don't dance in cities I live in.
I mean, that's kind of a fair rule because I don't dance in the cities I live in. You will not catch me at the club here.
No, but like
you'll
Seattle.
You'll see me in San Diego, shirt off. Let's go.
Like,
because they ain't gonna see me tomorrow.
Exactly. Because I think what people forget is that like it does, like you're in property management. I'm in mortgage. We're in the service industry.
We're in the service industry.
And our faces are on our business cards and our websites and our Instagram. And so I don't want you to see me like getting down to some Genuine and then call me the next day for a mortgage.
Right?
Like,
You're like, I saw you last night on the socials. I saw what you were doing.
Yes, exactly. So that's my rule. And I think I love that you have that rule too.
It's 100%. Danny and I are, Danny wants to get down and dirty every once in a while in Portland. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. Like, but we don't that much because we go to San Diego, we hit up the bars there and we're like, let's go.
Exactly.
So, anyways, well, thank you for
You're
being on my podcast. Cheers, friends.
Cheers.
And let's do this again.
All right.
Thanks for listening to Slightly Unhinged with Justin Pavis. If you've enjoyed this conversation with Jessica of CMG Home Loans, follow the show so you don't miss future episodes. If you want to connect with Jessica, you'll find her links in the show notes. We'll see you on the next one.